I'm back with my next episode of Sunday Stories, and you all must have read the title of the story, and that is Never Judge a Book by its Cover. That means never go on outer appearance of anyone, because appearances are deceptive. What we can see may not be exactly true. So I have two stories for you. So this is when, our narrator went to some city, and he had to go and for some official work. So on his way, when he was just on the outskirts of that city, was just going to reach that city, he saw two small boys. They must be of around 11 or 12 years of age. One was younger and one was taller and seemed to be the elder one. And these two boys were selling strawberries. So the narrator stopped. In fact, he also wanted to know the direction also. So he thought maybe these boys could help. And then he saw that the strawberries that they were selling, they were wild strawberries. He saw and he asked them the cost of the strawberries. It was not much. Although the strawberries were wild and they were not of very good quality, but this narrator of ours got he just liked seeing the sight of the two boys. The earnestness, the truthfulness and sincerity in their eyes, the earnestness in their eyes attracted our narrator. And he, somehow wanted to help them. So he bought the whole basket and asked about the direction and went on his way. Those two boys were very happy. They had a very nice smile because the whole basket had been sold and now they would be able to go and rest. They were very shabbily dressed. They weren't wearing very good clothes, and they were not, the hair was not combed very nicely or anything. Very shabbily dressed. One could see that they were poor. But the earnestness and truthfulness in their eyes, told the narrator there came a call from inside, and he bought the whole basket. Now the narrator was staying in a hotel there. He had to stay there for a week for some official work, as I told. So early morning in that hotel, they found the narrator found these two boys standing just outside. So the narrator was very attracted by their sight and quickly went down. He saw from the balcony of his room and he went down to ask what these two boys were doing just in front of his hotel. So then he came to know that these two boys did different types of jobs too to earn money. Strawberries he had seen them selling. The next was they used to stand in front of the hotels, so that if any foreigner or any tourist, any outsider who came there and wanted small errands to be done, small works to be done, messages to be conveyed here and there, things to be brought, cigarettes to be brought, or bread to be brought, or if anyone wanted to go for sightseeing, they would act as guide and take them to the different places. The narrator was, very astonished to see these two small boys who may not have even entered their teenage working so very hard. So he took them as a guide to the places all around, and he wanted to see what there were some historical places and all. So these two boys took our narrator around. Our narrator noticed that these two boys were not very talented. They were not, very perfect in their jobs, in their job as a guide. But still, the way they were showing, the way they were talking was really very, very impressive, especially for our narrator. Our narrator really liked these two, although he felt they were very shabbily dressed. They were very untidily dressed. Their clothes were not clean. The hair was not, well combed. Shoes were not perfect. But he was impressed by their willingness to do different types of things. Our narrator, started talking to both of them and asked what all you do. So they told him that they would, do different types of works. They would help the tourists and the foreigners get the taxi, or for the sightseeing. They, they were ready to do anything. So this really impressed our narrator. The next day, when the narrator went down to look for these two boys, because now, he started liking the sight of them and wanted to see them again and again. So today he had a very different sight. What were these two boys doing? These two boys were sitting at one corner and they were polishing shoes. People were coming, and if shoes were to be polished, they used to keep their feet there. They had, a box and all, and they were polishing shoes. Her narrator was, absolutely shocked. So, again, to help them, he got the shoes polished. He was very, very impressed. And then the narrator went off for his official work for which he had come. At night when he was returning, it was nearly midnight. He again saw these two boys. Nearly midnight means 12 at night. These two boys sitting under the electricity pole with a bundle of newspapers. Narrator was really shocked. These two small boys, how could their parents allow them? And what was their need to work so hard that at 12 they were sitting there and waiting? He stopped there and asked what they were doing with the bundle of newspapers. So the elder one said that it was time for the last bus to pass from there, and they would sell the newspapers in the bus it was time for the bus to pass. There often were people who bought newspapers from them. So the narrator was really shocked. Why at 12 these two small boys have to work so hard? Whole day he had seen them, toiling, doing different types of works, running errands of different tourists and foreigners. Running errands, doing different types of works or carrying messages from one place to another. So again he went back home and he saw the bus come, and they got into the bus. The bus was heading towards Padua, a place there in Europe, and the two boys got in very, very readily. Although the smaller one was very tired, you could see even the elder one. But still the willingness to work was there in them. So the next day, the narrator went down early so that he could talk to these two boys and asked, why do you have to work so hard, and what for you toil the whole day? And then the narrator had noticed them, eating the wild figs and the dark color bread, which was the cheaper one. So he asked, why are you working so hard, and for what, and but he had always seen, they earned very well, but he had always seen them eating, the food that was the cheapest one, the cheaper quality one. So although the younger one wanted to tell him, but the elder one stopped him and said, no, it's only to fulfill our everyday needs and survival. The narrator, realized that they did not want to share whatever they were doing, their problems or whatever. So the day, now the official work, he was there for 1 week. He saw them daily, talked to them daily, tried to help them daily. And so, it was a Saturday, and he went down and talked to the two boys that today I have got my last day here, and some little office work is left. Sunday he would rest, and Monday he would go away. So he went and talked to the two boys and asked them if they wanted his help. He could help them on Sunday. He was there. So the elder one, although he did not want to say, the younger one actually told him that every Sunday they used to go to a place for which they had to hire cycles. So if the narrator was free, and the younger one said this, if the narrator was free and could take them in his jeep, it would be really kind of the narrator. So the narrator was very, very happy. But the elder brother did not like the younger one revealing everything. He stopped him, but the narrator insisted that wherever they wanted to go, it would be the narrator only who would take them the next day. So the elder one also agreed. Sunday morning, the narrator was ready with his jeep that these two boys would go with them, and they had a small bag with them. The narrator did not ask, because he felt that these two boys did not want to tell everything about them, and they were a little dressed in a better way that day. Both jumped into the jeep and they went off to the place where they directed. The elder one kept telling the way, and they reached a place. And although the narrator had expected them to go to a very poor looking house, because they were so shabbily dressed, he knew they were poverty stricken, they were poor boys, and that is why they had to work so hard. So maybe they had to go home and give money to the old parents or something. He expected that they would go into a poor locality. But no, they entered a very posh area and stopped in front of a villa, very nice red colored villa, and they jumped out and they told the narrator that he needn't come inside, and they would do the work and come back quickly in an hour or so, and till then the narrator could go to a nearby coffee shop and have coffee and come back. The narrator did not argue or say anything. The narrator stayed there, and when they both had run inside, the narrator went round to see and realized that this villa was actually a villa had been converted into a hospital. So the narrator, quietly went inside, saw that there was a reception, and the two boys were not seen over there. He went inside, talked to the receptionist about, and tried to find out about these two boys who had just entered. So he went and he asked the receptionist, and the receptionist started laughing, and she said, "Oh, you're talking about Jacob and Stephen? Jacob and Stephen are two boys who had come to meet their sister." So he was totally shocked. "All right, sister, what is the sister doing here? Is the sister a doctor or a nurse here?" So the receptionist said, "I don't know who you are, but these two boys are very, very gentlemanly. They look poor. They are shabbily dressed. But they come every Sunday to pay for the treatment of their sister who is suffering from spinal tuberculosis of the spine, because of which she was not able to stand and walk. So the narrator is totally shocked. He had thought that they were poor boys. So the receptionist went on to say that these two boys belonged to a very nice family, a very rich family. The father was a singer and the mother was a very hard-working teacher. But during war, both the father and the mother had expired in the bomb blast, and these three, the two boys and their elder sister, had survived. And now, since war was over, they had got, later on when the war was over and they felt that the sister was very weak and she was not able to walk, they felt it was because after effects of war and they were not able to eat well and they had lost their parents. So when they got her checked, they came to know that she was suffering from the tuberculosis of the spine. But they were too small, but they wanted to give proper treatment to their sister, and they had promised the doctor to not stop any type of treatment, and that they would keep coming every Sunday and paying for the expensive treatment that was going on. And the receptionist told them that it was a very, very expensive treatment, but there was never a Sunday when they had not come and not deposited the total amount. Every week they used to come and give the money for the treatment for the whole week that had, the doctor had spent on. The narrator went up. He peeped into the room where the two boys were hugging the sister, and the sister was a big girl. She must be of around 20 years of age. They had, in the bag that they had taken was a bundle of notes, was a bunch of grapes, some fruits, some flowers, and they both were laughing and talking to the sister. The narrator was really touched. He had not thought so far. He came back and sat down in the jeep. He did not want the boys to know that he had come to know everything. If they did not want to share all this with anyone, he would not make them feel bad or intervene in their lives. While coming back with the two boys, he did not say anything, but in his heart, in his mind, he was very, very touched. And he kept thinking that there were people who were so gentlemanly. They were people who were so hardworking. They were people who were self-confident. These two small boys who looked so poorly, so shabbily they were dressed, worked and toiled day and night to save money for their sister. They belonged to a good family. The amount of money that they were saving was more than enough for their very, very good life. But right now, the determination to treat their sister was so much that they just did not bother about their own selves. That is why appearances are deceptive. By seeing the shabbily dressed poor children, no one could ever make out that they were earning so much and the reason for which they were earning. These two small boys could think such so big. Definitely these two boys would grow up to be great men, isn't it? Similarly, second story, short one. There was this girl, she entered into the airport. She had a flight. She had reached there early, and she went to the magazine stall. She bought a magazine for herself. She went to the shop which was selling cookies. She bought a box of cookies, came down to sit in the waiting area. She opened her magazine, she opened her box of cookies, and she took one. She opened the magazine, she started reading, and she took a piece of cookie and she started eating. It was really tasty, and she relished the taste of the cookie. While reading the magazine, when she put her hand again to the box, she could feel somebody else's hand too. She turned to see an old man sitting beside her, and he too was taking out the cookie from the same box. She did not say anything. He was an old man, shabbily dressed. His coat that he was wearing was not very well ironed, and she did not like him taking cookie out of her box without asking. All right, she would share. She would give him 2-3 cookies. But at least he was taking from her box. He could have taken permission. But she did not say anything because he was an old man, and she felt that maybe he was very hungry. So she kept reading her magazine, and she kept noticing that whenever she took out one cookie, even he took out one cookie and ate. Although somewhere inside she was thinking that this man has not taken permission and has the guts to, eat so very confidently from her box. But she did not say anything. And when the last piece of cookie was left, she noticed the last piece. The man divided it into 2 and took one half and left the other half for her. And then got up, and there was some announcement. Maybe it was time for his flight, and he went off. She was totally shocked. That man before going did not thank her. He could have thanked her. All right, he ate the cookies. But again, she felt, all right, maybe he's old, he's poor, he was hungry. Doesn't matter. It was time for her flight too. There was an announcement. She too got up. When she took her things, she noticed her box of cookies lying bare right next to her bag. She was shocked. She had actually been eating his cookies. Her box of cookies, which was opened because she had opened it, was lying intact. She had not eaten. While reading the magazine, she had not realized that she was herself eating from his box. She was, somewhere inside she was thinking about the old man who had not taken permission and had felt all right that he was an old man, maybe he was poor and hungry. But now she was so guilty, she realized that it was her fault. One should not judge a book by its cover. Analyze things. Don't be judgmental. Even in the first story, when he had seen these, boys selling the wild strawberries, he felt they were very poor and he should help them. And the earnestness in their eyes, made him help them. He thought they were very poor. And they were small boys who were selling. But they were actually doing a gentlemanly job. They were doing a job, they were earning the amount of money which even maybe an elder man may not be able to earn. And in the same way, this girl had been thinking bad about that man who had not taken permission. but she had not realized that she was the one who was eating out of his box and her box was lying there intact. So we should not think bad about others without knowing the whole thing. We should not judge a book by its cover. Analyze things, know everything, then only you will come to realize about people. Isn't it? Do let me know how you liked my story, and please, children have stopped giving comments, they have stopped pressing the like button, and even the views are less nowadays. I know you people are enjoying your summer vacation, but still keep supporting. Do take good care of yourself, stay in. If you're going out, if it's an emergency, you are going out, wear double mask, keep sanitizing, keep washing your hands, maintain hygiene in the house, take care of everyone. Goodbye, take care.